Hello students, today we will study the second chapter of structural mechanics for civil students, and for mechanical students this is your first chapter. Okay, that is all about your stress strain and their application and Hooke's law and what the tensile test of steel and all these things we'll study in this chapter. So today in this lecture we will finish the concept about stress, strain, and their one numerical. In this lecture, we'll finish these 3 points. Okay. Before starting anything, I want to tell one thing. I have gone through the syllabus of mechanical students and civil engineering students. In civil engineering students, the subject name is your structural mechanics. In mechanical students, the subject name is your strength of material. Both the syllabus are almost similar, but civil syllabus is much more vast than your mechanical syllabus. Mechanical syllabus is much less as compared to our civil syllabus. So if I'll complete the total civil syllabus, then by obvious thing the mechanical syllabus will be by default it will be over. For that, for mechanical students, one chapter is only not there in your civil, that is thin cylinder and thick cylinder. That I will cover specially for mechanical students. That one chapter I will teach you for mechanical students only. Before that, whatever I am teaching, that is mostly common for civil and mechanical, but civil syllabus is much larger than your mechanical syllabus. So whatever the videos I am posting in your WhatsApp group, that only you follow. No need to follow more lectures of my YouTube videos which I have posted for civil students. जो वीडियो में मैकेनिकल तुम्हारा व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में पोस्ट कर रहा हूँ, बस वही वीडियो फॉलो करो. बाकी वीडियो सिविल वालों के लिए है. मैकेनिकल स्टूडेंट्स नो नीड टू फॉलो बिकॉज देयर सिलेबस इज मच less as compared to civil syllabus. Syllabus is also similar, but syllabus content is high for civil students. So for mechanical students, no need to follow the rest of the lectures. So this is for mechanical students is the first lecture. Whatever the lecture video I will post in your WhatsApp group, that link go to the YouTube and follow that video only. No need to follow all the videos. All the videos are for civil students as their syllabus is much more. Only one chapter is not there in civil syllabus, that is thin cylinder and thick cylinder. That will cover specially for mechanical students later on. So this is the announcement for both the branches. No need to get confused. Okay. So this is our first lecture for mechanical students, and this is our 6th lecture for civil engineering students. So first we will study about stress. So I want to write what is stress. What is stress? Stress is nothing but, stress is the internal resistance provided by the body against deformation. Okay, suppose यहाँ पे एक बॉडी है, हम इस पे कुछ लोड दिए. स्ट्रेस से पहले मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ लोड क्या है, वो पता है कि नहीं? ओके, पहले लोड देख ले. तो मैकेनिक्स में पढ़े होंगे, फिर भी आई वांट टू टेल यू टाइप्स ऑफ लोड. इट इज देयर इन मैकेनिकल, the first line of their syllabus, that is types of load. First one is compressive load. Second one is tensile load. What is tension, what is compression, already you know, but still for your recall, I want to tell again. Suppose one body is there. This is one body. Okay. This body is generally called prismatic body. Why it is called prismatic body? Why it is called prismatic body? Because the area of cross section is same throughout its length. The area of cross section is same throughout its length. So that is why it is called. I am writing here cross sectional area is constant. Okay, this area is constant. That is called prismatic. If it is not constant, then that will be called non-prismatic. Non-prismatic means cross-sectional area not constant. Okay, over. So if any prismatic body, we are giving some load here. So if you are pulling the body, so that load is called tensile load. Suppose the force is, your load is P. So P will be called tensile load because it is stretching, it is pulling. The just opposite, so I am writing here, this is tensile load. If some body is there here and you are compressing this body, suppose load is there P. So we are just compressing the body, yes or no? So pushing the body. So that force is called, that load will be called compressive load. Hope all must have clear this tensile and compression concept. Don't get confused between tensile and compression. Tensile means just pulling and compression means just pushing. Compress, the meaning is telling about his name only. Compress and tensile. Okay. Now hope the load will be clear about the load. Then we'll move to the stress. The stress is, and about prismatic, non-prismatic, also you should know the concept. So what is stress? Stress is nothing but the internal resistance of the material, a body, that is against deformation per unit area. So in diagram I will show you, then it will be more clear. Suppose here is P, here is P, okay, and you are giving the load, that is tension, and length is L. So in this case, if I will cut the section, suppose somewhere here, suppose the section is XX, and if I want to draw the free body diagram of this, then what will it will be? Suppose this is our XX, it will be P. Free body diagram you must have drawn in your mechanics. P here. So if you are pulling at a load P, and here the internal resistance is provided in the cross sectional XX. So whatever the internal resistance, that is uniformly distributed, and that is our stress sigma. Stress is generally denoted as sigma. This name is called sigma. Sigma means what? The internal resistance what is provided in the body per cross sectional area of that body. So sigma, I can write the internal resistance that is provided by cross sectional area of that body. So now the question is, why I have written P here? Because whatever the load you are pulling the body, that will be equal to the resistance provided by that body. You are pulling with a load P, so the resistance will be also same as P, the resistance will be same as your load given. The external load, internal load will be same. So P and per cross sectional area. Remember this cross sectional area. Cross section means what? Suppose this is length L. This is along longitudinal direction. Cross sectional area means you are cutting the section. So after cutting the section, the length will not be there. Only breadth and height will be there. Okay. So if I want to draw the cross section of this body, then this will be something like this. Suppose here is B, here is suppose depth is D, then the cross sectional area will be equal to our B into D. So stress will be P by BD. Clear? That is cross section. Okay, this is not cross section. Cross sectional area means B into D. That will be equal to stress. This is can be called, that is tensile stress. You can denote tensile stress as positive and compressive as negative. Compressive stress is negative. Compression, the same thing will be there, but the load will be in just opposite to the tension. So again I want to show if any confusion is there. Suppose this is the body. If I want to give compression here, then this will be, direction will be like this. This is P and this is P. This is compression. So the same thing, P by A, but only difference will be, it will be negative if you are taking compression. If you are taking tension, then you can take positive sign, P by A. Okay, so this is all about your general normal concept of stress. There are different types of stress: normal stress, direct stress, shear stress, bending stress, torsional shear stress. All the stresses that will cover later on. Just now, for now, just remember the minimum concept what is required for this chapter, that you should know. That is what is stress and what is the minimum concept you should know about stress. So this is all about stress. Now we will move towards strain. The second thing that I want to explain you about strain. About strain. So what is strain? Strain means what? Suppose one body is there here. Suppose the length of the body is L and you are giving some load P here. Okay, this is tensile or compressive load. This is tensile load. So you are giving the load. Now you want to calculate the strain of that body. How to calculate the strain? The strain can be calculated suppose this is L. Okay, if you are pulling the body, then it will definitely move something like this. Extension will be there. Suppose the extension is suppose delta L. It is suppose delta L and the original length is L. So the strain, you can write, the symbol of strain is epsilon. You can write here. That will be, you can write the change in length by original length. So this will be your strain. That may be tensile strain, that may be compressive strain, whatever it will be, but the formula will be same. So what is delta L? That is change in length. And what is L? The original length of the body. Okay, clear? Again I am explaining what is strain. Strain means what? If one body is there and you are giving some load here, then it will extend somehow because you are giving tensile load. So suppose it is extended up to this much. Okay, so whatever the extension we are getting, the change in length divided by the original length, whatever it is there already, that is the L. If you divide the both, then that will give you strain. If it is tensile strain, the formula is this. If it is compressive strain, the formula will be same only. Again I am writing here. Hope you are writing simultaneously with me. Suppose this is the body, this is the length, and you are giving compressive load now. Suppose P, this is compression, and suppose P here. So now this is the original length, that is smaller, and as you are giving some compression load, so it will compress, so the shape will like this, it will come like this, yes or no? In the previous case you are giving tension, so the length increase somehow. Now you are giving compressive load, so it will compress somehow. So whatever the change in length, this is the change in length, that I am denoting as delta L. So here also our strain will be change in length by original length. That will be your strain. Hope it is clear about strain. Now one problem we will do, then it will be more clear. The last thing of this lecture, one numerical. Okay, the last part is on numerical. We'll solve one numerical. Suppose one body is there here, the length is suppose 3 meter, and you are giving some load here, suppose 9 kilonewton. Okay, and the cross sectional area is given, the width is suppose 20 mm and the depth is 40 mm, and the extension and the change in length is given, that is delta L is given, suppose 3 mm. Now it is asked to calculate stress, that is sigma, and strain, that is epsilon. These two you have to calculate, stress and strain. So in this case, the load is given, the length is given, and the cross sectional area is given, and the extension is given. Now you have to calculate stress and strain. So how to calculate stress? First one is stress, second one is strain. So stress, I already told, stress means the internal resistance provided by the material against deformation, okay, per unit area. So what is the load here? P, that is 9 kilonewton. So I can write 9 kilo is there, so I am writing 9 into 10 to the power 3, that is P, and by cross sectional area. Cross sectional area means breadth into depth, that will be 40 into 20. So this will be your stress. Always while doing numericals, you should take care of your unit. So what is the unit of load? Newton. or kilonewton. Okay, what is the unit of stress? Stress unit should be, you can calculate the unit always from the formula. So what is the formula of stress? That is P by A. So what is the unit of P load? That is Newton. Okay, area meter square mm square. If I am writing meter square area P by A, so Newton per meter square will be your unit of stress. So another name of this is your Pascal. You can call Pascal or Newton per meter square, or you can write Newton per mm square or megapascal. Okay, 1 megapascal equal to 10 to power 6 Pascal. All the unit you should remember before doing any problem. So take care of the unit. Again I am explaining, for the stress the unit is Newton per meter square or Pascal, or you can write Newton per mm square or megapascal. That symbol you will get MPa, okay, megapascal. Okay, 1 megapascal equal to 10 to power 6 Pascal. All in the strength of material you will use frequently this one, Newton per mm square or megapascal. Here in the numerator Newton, here mm square. Just divide whatever you will get, that megapascal will be your answer. Yes or no? Just divide by the calculator and you will get the answer. Now stress is over, first one. Last part of the question is strain. So what is strain? Here I am writing, this is P, don't get confused, and this is your cross sectional area. So what is strain formula? Delta L by L. So what is the change in length or extension, whatever it will given, that is 3 mm. So this is 3 mm by original length. What is the original length? That 3 meter. It is in meter, so convert into mm, because in numerator it is mm. So it will be 3 into 10 to power 3 mm. So 3 cancel. So it will be 10 to power minus 3. What will be the unit of strain now? Anyone? Strain has no unit, because strain is the ratio of length and length. So both will be cancelled. So no need to mention any unit. So this is your answer, 10 to power minus 3. Strain has no unit. Okay, stress has unit. Always in your strength of material case, you will use megapascal, or you can mention here Newton per mm square. Whatever you can mention, anything is correct. Megapascal or Newton per mm square. Don't get confused. 2 bar are there. You can write Newton per mm square, this, so you will not get confused. Okay, this is the all about your problem. Load by area, just divide it, that will become stress, and strain means change in length by original length, that will be your strain. Hope this lecture you must have clear about the strain, stress, strain, and your one numerical related to that. Okay, the next class we will study the further thing of this chapter. If any doubt till now, you can contact me. Okay, thank you.